You guys, this episode today has been brought to you by Hello Ruby. That's right, my online store, shophelloruby.com. We started in 2017 with a fashion truck and quickly brought everything online. You can use code POD15 for 15% off today with your order, and there's no limit, so you can use it every time you shop. Again, use code POD15 at shophelloruby.com. Give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok. Thank you. Welcome back to Where There's a Wheel, There's a Way. I am your host, Jill Dudzinski, and today I brought my husband in so we could chat about the creation of the Hello Ruby fashion truck. Stay tuned. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Where There's a Wheel, There's a Way. Today, I have the privilege of having my husband on, which is so funny because it's like, we talk all day, every day. Well, not all day, every day, but a lot. And it's funny. But my goal for today is to go back down memory lane about the truck, how we built it, and just like the progression of Hello Ruby. I want to hear about, well, why don't you tell everybody what you do?
Oh, I'm a clinical pharmacist. So yeah. I work at a medical home and help patients manage their medications and get them healthier. Through lifestyle modifications and stuff too.
So when we started the truck, I'm so excited to talk about the infamous voicemail. But when we started the truck, you were in residency at UNMC?
At the VA.
Or at Omaha the VA. Oh yeah, yep. At the VA. So I feel like we both were working full-time jobs and then working on the truck. What is your favorite memory of the truck from when we were starting?
I would say, oh my gosh, there's so many memories.
I know. Why don't you tell us what you remember about building the truck? Because I feel like you built it.
Yeah, I remember a lot. I would say, I think the wildest part of the story would be the fact that, you know, through selling your mom's artwork, you got to pay for the truck. Because that's how we ultimately got that big chunk of change to do that.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I don't even remember that. My memory is so freaking bad. I can't, I do remember now that you say that.
Yeah. So, you know, we went to Okoboji. You saw that sweet truck that you really liked.
Wait, let's expand about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we went on a family trip. Okay. I understand where you're going with that now because of that. So we were in Okoboji on a family trip and saw I think it was called the Blonde Genius. I need to look to see if they're still in business, but they had a mobile unit.
It's like an RV.
Yeah. And it was so cute. And I was talking to the gal. I'm like, oh, that's like so much less scary than just signing a 5-year lease for a brick and mortar. That's doable. Why couldn't we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So serendipitously, you know, I started working at Think, which is where I work now as a clinical pharmacist. And they were looking to commission some artwork.
Yes.
And so they asked local artists around town. And you ended up selling a bunch of the artwork there.
Well, you did. You were like, oh, my dead mother-in-law.
Well, yeah, I put in a good word. Yeah. And so then we, luckily we got this big old chunk of change. And then you just started doing what you do best, which is just digging and perusing the internet and figuring things out. And we stumbled upon this truck in Lincoln. And I think it was behind...
Sanders Auto.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know how that came to me.
It was like behind some liquor store, and it looked like it was kind of like a junkyard. I don't know.
It was a junkyard.
Yeah. And
remember the lady that sold it to us?
I do.
She was scary.
She was very scary. Yeah, she was a scary gal. I don't know what else she was selling, but yeah. So, and I remember the first time getting in the truck, turning it on, and the lady was like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine. It's perfect.
She's like smoking a cigarette, like flicking it,
just like the hoarsest voice ever." And then I just remember getting in that truck with you, and Ruby was in there too.
Ruby's our dog, guys. If you don't know, if you're a follower of shorter than 4 years ago, I don't know. Yeah. That's when she died.
Yep.
Or we had to put her to sleep. Ruby was the best.
We miss you.
But Ruby was kind of the basis of the boutique name that we knew. We were messing around with different names, and then ultimately you were like, what about Hello Ruby? So Ruby was our mini Labradoodle. She was so freaking cute.
Yeah, we miss her every day.
But anyway, go ahead.
I don't want to start crying. But
wait, are you?
So No.
Are you going to start crying?
I'm okay. I'm okay. But yeah, so we ended up turning on that truck and driving it around, and we're just driving it around like back kind of roads in Lincoln, just like in this big circle around the Sanders lot. And we're like, should we do it? And Jill's like, we should do it. And so then we just
split it on 3 cards.
Yep. Split it on 3 cards. Yep. Which was, God, I forgot we did that too.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
Terrifying. But I mean,
in hindsight.
whatever.
But yeah. And then we got it. And then, yeah, it was,
can I interject?
Yes.
Because I remember so we went to Okoboji, I want to say July maybe, because August is when I was like, no, I want to do a fashion truck. So then I remember like Googling, having Google alerts set for different types of step vans, box trucks. And then I started the Instagram secretly, of course, then too. So it was August of 2016, which is insane. Like so long ago.
Crazy.
Yeah. But then I remember like a lot of like Kansas, Missouri step vans would be for sale. And I'm like, well, gosh, should we go there? And then a Lincoln one came up. So that's why it was rare for one close to come up. So I was like, we have to get this one.
Well, and how much were those other ones when you were looking at them?
10 to 15 grand. And like this one was like $4,000.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know why.
I don't know.
We thought we lucked out.
Yeah. We're like, oh my gosh, this is the deal of a lifetime. We need to get this right now.
We have to get this truck.
And so we ended up getting it. And then, you know, we got an inspection. I don't know where you got your first inspection from.
No, it was there. We were.
Oh, it was there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. They used their own mechanic.
Yeah, and they're like, it's all good. You are all set.
Everything's perfectly.
It's totally
functioning.
safe to drive it back to Omaha.
So yeah, then we got back, and I think did you get an independent individual to like assess it? And they're like, yeah, this thing needs just a tremendous amount of work. And we're like, oh no, what have we done?
More than if we just would have bought it.
So then we ended up finding that one fella in Lincoln again to do all the repairs. And it was like some
see, maybe that was Sanders Auto.
That could have been Sanders Auto too. I don't know where. Yeah,
I don't know what the first one was. Yeah,
but we got estimates from. Or you got estimates from quite a few different people, and like these bids were just crazy high. And we're like, oh gosh, you know, we already opened up 3 credit cards. Like, what are we doing? And
okay, we didn't open. 3 credit cards.
Open, but put it on 3 credit cards.
Yeah.
But then this guy came back with this bid, and he's like, yeah, it'll be like $700. We're like, a what?
Not 10,000. Perfect.
Not 10,000. We're like, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
And so yeah, and he did it, and like he worked on it for a long time, and it seemed like he was doing grueling hours on that thing. But
he probably was like, suckers.
Yeah.
I have to clip this one thing and it's good to go.
Yeah. But, you know, it hasn't broken down since. So
yeah. And I do get it checked every year because I'm very scared as a, I guess, women driver, ? Not to make it about sex, but like, it's
You're an
so
amazing driver of that truck.
Thank you. I actually do, knock on wood, pride myself on driving the truck, especially at the farmer's market by Ted and Wally's downtown. Just got to crank that thing in. It's so scary, but then like I've got it now.
Your backup skills are amazing.
Thank you. I'm awesome.
To be honest. So, but yeah, I mean, and so, you know, after we got it fixed from Sanders Auto, I think you had alluded to the infamous voicemail that came. And I think that was before we went to that was place before. To get it repaired.
He basically was like, and if you drive this thing on the interstate, the brakes could not work and you could die.
Oh my God.
I remember exactly where we were when we got the voicemail. We were in bed and we look at each other and we just busted out laughing.
We were kind of like, I think it was like in this, you know, kind of like a crisis type state to the extent where we were like, you know, okay, we made this big investment and we just like Jill's starting her own business and like I'm in residency, you know, I'm making, you know, no money at all, like barely anything.
Literally.
And she's, you know, working for...
Was I working at Travel and Transport?
No, you were at Tech Systems at the time.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were, because remember you were working on it like on the side there a little bit. Don't tell anybody. But
oh yeah. Tech Systems, if you're listening, I pretended to not know what I was doing.
We're not giving you any money.
I did know what I was doing the whole time.
Even though she was working during business hours and not paying.
Okay, I wasn't doing that bad.
Yeah. But
kind of.
But yeah, so we were kind of like in crisis mode, I feel like, and we were like laying in bed and we're like, oh God. And then Jill's like, oh, voicemail came through. And so then we start listening to it and this guy's like, yeah, Jill, Well, we took a look at the truck, and
you can't hear that.
Jill, we sorry, we took. I was making it muffled, like the voicemail, but you were like, yeah, Jill, we look at the truck, and yeah, there's a couple things wrong with it. You know, you got your rotator belt that's a little off, and the cab is a little broken. You know, the engine is not really running, and yeah, if you drive it on the interstate, your wheel will probably fall off. You'll probably end up, crashing and dying. And we're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? So, but yeah, I mean, we found that guy in Lincoln and he fixed it up. And
so then what was your favorite and least favorite part of after the like mechanics of it were done? We got it back. And I remember being inspired, like obviously things on Pinterest, but like copper piping, I decided on. Marble was so hot then.
Yeah.
Like the,
so hot.
Now I see the marble and I'm like, ugh.
Jill's like, get out of my sight.
Get it out of here. But that was like our vibe.
Yes.
And then even just like researching like the walls and how heavy, like that was so stressful.
It was crazy. And we didn't really know what we
had no idea.
Doing. And we had a lot of help, like Uncle John.
Yeah.
Amazing.
My uncle helped.
He's an electrician.
So he helped specifically with like wiring the truck, getting light switches on, outlets so we could plug it in when we went places.
I mean, he did a remarkable job.
Yeah. So grateful for that.
I was reminiscing about this too last night, but so you speak of the copper pipe. So for the longest time with the copper piping, I was using this thing called an angle grinder to cut the copper pipe. So
I always would be stopped when you were at work because I couldn't do any of it.
She couldn't do anything. So I would get home from residency after, working for 10 hours. And then, we'd work on the truck for another 5-6 hours. And this is before we obviously had kids. And so we were just workaholics, just working
because we wanted to
from the morning. And it was the best. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, not the best, but it was a different time. And it was really cool. But the angle grinder, I mean, I remember I would just be like putting on my goggles, putting on my gloves and just like, trying to cut through all of this copper piping. Sparks are flying everywhere.
Literally.
Like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. And fast forward like 2 months, Jill's like, yeah, Austin, did you know that they have these things called like copper pipe cutters? All you do is just like twist it around. And I'm like, no way. And you went downstairs and like showed me and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. So the one time I go to the hardware store by myself, and I'm like, we're trying to cut this copper. And like when you had to line it up with the angle grinder, it was so hard to get it straight and all.
Right.
And we had to measure it exactly perfect. Exactly. And then I went to the store alone and this guy, I love acting like.
That's why you got to do your own research and be smart like you.
Yeah. But I just, I just asked the guy and he's like, oh yeah, you just do this.
And it was so easy.
But it was already after we had the whole truck done.
Right.
It was when I was building racks for Exarban.
Yep. And so you ended up whipping out those racks super easy.
Yeah.
The other thing too that I was thinking about, speaking of the angle grinder, was, do you remember how hard it was to try to get some of that metal out of the truck? Like there was like that, you might not remember this. There was like this big shelf on the left-hand side when you looked in. And then there were all these like little racks, because it was an Aramark truck. So there was a bunch of like places to hang things. And so we had to get all of that out too. And I remember trying to get like one of the screws grinded off with the angle grinder. And I'm like, this is going to take me 5 years to do.
We didn't have the right tools.
And so then you just found someone, again, you did your research, amazing like you always do. And you found some random person that maybe knew one of our friends. I think they knew the Donovans. And the guy was like, yeah, I'll hook you up. And, we got all that stuff taken out. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. Because that would have been so hard.
Yeah.
It would have taken forever.
I do remember that. I think you're like, oh yeah, you just did all this research. And it was literally based upon me being impatient. And I'm like, oh no, I know this guy. I can't wait long enough to get this screw out.
It doesn't matter the means to the end. You got it done, and that's what's impressive.
So we did get it emptied, and then we had to put insulation in. We did the electricity, put up the walls, did the copper piping. Let's touch on the wallpaper, you guys. So the ceiling is like this weird ass cream color, ugly. It looks like it's like a smoker's been in there. No, a smoker has not been in there. But we could not figure out how to make it look good. Like I didn't have any options. There was like air conditioning unit at the top on one of the areas, and we just like took that out because it didn't work, and we just added a, what's that called?
Like
moonlight.
Plexiglass.
Yeah.
Uncle John came in and sealed it up.
Yeah. And then with that though, we were like, okay, let's wallpaper the ceiling. You guys, if there is one piece of advice I could give you, never wallpaper with your spouse.
Hold on. Pause for a second. Never wallpaper the top of a truck in the middle of winter with your spouse.
Oh, was it winter?
Or it was starting to become winter.
Oh, it was cold.
It was colder, and let's just say it wasn't comfortable in that truck.
And like our hands were up like this, and we'd be like, hurry, do you have it yet? My hands are dying. And then we would switch, and we would be like legit like screaming.
Oh, it was so bad. And now keep in mind too,
you can get through anything in life. Like we have 2 kids now. Great. Don't fucking wallpaper.
Yes. Now, in our defense, we did do a pretty good job of wallpapering Paxton's room, and that didn't go too bad. Yeah, that was pretty easy because it was air conditioned. It was not in the middle of a truck. It wasn't the ceiling. You know, we did the wall, and we did a pretty good job on that.
And we both had PTSD from doing our son Paxton's room because we were like, remember the last time we wallpapered?
Oh my God, yeah. But it was so hard because we had to cut the wallpaper the right width, and then we had to. It was like this like adhesive wallpaper that you had to like paint water onto, I think, to make it sticky. And I remember reading the directions too, and it was like, never, ever, ever put this wallpaper on in any temperature other than, you know, this
60 degrees.
And we're like 10 or 15 degrees below that, or maybe 20 degrees below that. We're like, why is it not sticking? And we're like pushing it up there and then trying to hold it. And I'm like, Jill, my arms are on fire. And you're like holding the other side, and you're like, my arms are on fire. I can't. And so, yeah, it was just, I think that out of all of the things with the truck, that was by far the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah. So then...
Didn't it fall off too? And we had to rebuild it anyways.
because it's 120 degrees in that fucking truck in the summer. My God, it did fall off, so we had to redo it. And now it's board, but whatever.
Yeah, so now it's boards that kind of fall out a little bit, but you know, I think it looks good. I mean,
yeah.
The wallpaper did look really cool.
When the first week. Yeah.
For the first week.
All that
for like 3 hours, it looked good. But it was pretty cool.
Okay, so then that gets us to, we had our grand opening in April of 2017. I had reached out to Ted and Wally's, shout out Joe. I don't know how to say your last name. Patak. He's like the sweetest guy. He owns Ted and Wally's with his sister. And he's just super supportive of, I guess, new ventures. But I had wanted to get down to the farmer's market. But the farmer's market has rules against it. Has to be like homemade, homegrown, which clearly as a boutique, we're just curating. We're not making, thank God, because obviously that would not work. So I could never get into the farmer's market. And in my head, I'm like, Hello Ruby is at the farmer's market. So Joe let me kind of just back up into his spot at Ted and Wally's. We did a launch for, I think we had like a strawberry ice cream that was called Hello Ruby, which was so fun. What do you remember about grand opening down at Ted and Wally's?
Well, to speak to Jill's amazing parking skills, parking down at Ted and Wally's was like threading a needle. I feel like. Yeah. I mean, and you got the guy that was next door that like had all of his little like trinkets out and stuff. You remember that guy?
They have like
very grumpy fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they sell? Like they sell like wired.
They were like
lawn art.
Tin, like lawn art things.
I don't know.
And he would always set them up, and he would always be just ticked when you always be.
Because I was late.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. But
no, you were. I mean, yeah. And so Jill had to like maneuver around all of these like tin art and thread the needle into this thing. And if she backed up too much, then she would hit a fire hydrant. And
it was the sign.
Or the sign.
It'd be like
something. Yeah. and so what do I remember about grand opening? That it was crazy busy.
I know. We had so much support. Like your
so
brothers and wives came in
cousins,
from Kansas City,
aunts and uncles. Like yeah, and they all came from Kansas City.
Second cousins, third
dogs,
cousins,
previous owners. Like it was crazy. But I feel like everyone just showed up, and it was such like a loving environment, so supportive. Everyone was excited. You had great sales.
Sarah and I were like checking people out so fast. We were like,
Yeah.
And having 2 people checking out in the truck is so hard because it's like so small in the truck. But obviously you learn so much. But
yep. And then you had a bunch. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Jinx.
I was going to say you had a bunch of like people that were there that were like doing like interviews or like live thread.
Yes.
And wasn't Colt there?
No, I don't think he was there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he was.
I thought he was.
But we had like an influencer. What do you want to call that?
Like panel?
Panel. Yeah. It's actually probably
like sitting outside.
Probably. LOL. Probably still on YouTube. And it was Carrie L. Jenna was on it. And then I remember Jenna being like, these are real influencers. I don't want to do this. I'm terrified.
Whatever happened to Carrie L?
Jenna is my best friend, Elevate, who runs Elevate, who is just on, by the way. Carrie L was an influencer. I have not talked to her in a long time. A Midwestern Mix was there. Kristen, I'm pretty sure. She has now like, I think 3 boys in Iowa. I can't remember who else was there. But that was cute. Like that was like a fun little add-on. And then we also had a live painter there.
Yes.
Who painted the truck and like people in it for the whole pop-up, which was like super cute.
And very memorable.
And I was going to have that to put here and I forgot because I have ADD.
I will help you remember.
Thank you.
But that is
too late.
That was such a cool, well, maybe for next podcast. But that was like a really cool painting too.
Yeah.
Like that was,
it's
and
like,
really, I think Ruby was in the painting too.
Yeah. Ruby was
she
there.
Did a really good job.
Yeah.
It was adorable.
Yes. So then that takes us into the first winter where I did not think my whole business plan through because obviously spring, summer, fall, pop-ups. And then I'm like, oh, what the hell am I going to do to sell shit Christmas time? So then I had a contact at Exarban. I don't even know how. Maybe Jake Harburg, shout out to your mom, ?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a family friend. I can't remember.
Noddle? Noddle?
But they allowed me to do a 3-month storefront pop-up. And I think it was an old nutrition shop, but nobody was there. It was vacant. And it was like a 500 square foot little area. It was cute. Yes. And it was actually perfect for what I needed. So we did October, November, December pop-up. And then I remember that was the first time that I did a discount. Like I did 20% off and it was fucking nuts in there. And then I was like, I have nothing. So then I was trying to order. And then I was like, oh my God, these people that are coming in during the week, like I feel like my shit sucks. And so if you were one of those people, I'm so sorry that my inventory sucked.
That was a sweet little place too. And
yeah.
I remember you had like mannequins that you had gotten, I think from somewhere, like someone was going out of business or something like that.
Probably.
And you got them for pretty good price.
I do that a lot.
And you do that a lot. And then we made like those triangles out of
copper.
Out of copper piping that
just
you
love
cut
the
with
copper.
your cutting tool.
I also do want to give a shout out. Where did I find the copper vibe? Something on Pinterest. And it was a boutique maybe in Missouri, something.
Oh yeah.
What was it? Nickel?
Yeah, it was
Nickel and something. It was a really cute boutique and they had it.
Satin or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I love that.
Yeah. We did a lot of, you had a lot of inspo.
Yeah.
For a lot of those things, which is great.
Such is life.
The, is copper like still in or like what is
it is
that?
For us. We're like the OG. I feel like people I see at pop-ups now with a local collective have it.
I mean, copper's timeless.
It's so cool. It gets dirty though. And you have to clean it with lime.
Oh, is that really?
Allegedly. I haven't cleaned it.
I've never cleaned it before, but that's what I read.
No, you can. But here's our problem is I spray painted some of them around the screws with the gold or the rose gold spray paint. So then
rose gold.
Now I'm like, whatever.
I thought it was bronze, but it is rose gold.
It's rose gold.
We used a lot of rose gold
spray paint
in that truck.
Yeah. Yes. It's pretty much flammable probably.
It's pretty much probably giving us all cancer, but yeah, we had to spray paint like all of the handles.
Everything that was silver. I was like, make it rose gold. And then, okay, so obviously we loved the name Ruby. I loved the name Ruby because of Ruby, our dog. And then I know I liked, like I kind of wanted like a street theme, like Ruby on Melrose. Like, you know how Melrose is a popular street on wherever, somewhere in California. And then I also liked Ruby and Oliver, but to me that sounded like a kid's name and I don't even know why I liked that. But looking back at like my inspiration on Pinterest, the board is called Ruby and Oliver. So at some point
Where do you think Oliver came from?
I have no fucking I probably just thought it looked cute.
It's a cute name.
It is cute.
I do like Oliver.
Yeah. I don't know.
Twist.
But then how did you come up with Hello Ruby? Because I remember you were like, what about Hello Ruby? I'm like, that's so cute.
I think we went through I think we were just batting down ideas. And I remember we were on the couch downstairs in our old house.
Oh, really?
And
I don't remember.
And we were talking through it. And I think there was like a couple different boutiques that were around town. Hello Holiday was one.
Yeah, but I didn't know about that boutique until after. That's why I kind of thought that too. But I did not know that existed until after.
Yeah. And maybe, I don't know,
you did.
Maybe I saw it or something like that. Or maybe I was like Googling boutiques around Omaha or something. And
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and then Hello Ruby and
it's cute. And I was like, I love that.
And I love the I love the cursive first word and then like the like lowercase block letters for the second word.
Do you remember who did that? My friend Mara. Remember Mara?
Oh, Mara Schmidt?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So I don't know if she was just starting her design stuff. I know she was doing like maybe wedding invitations and stuff, but I had reached out to her. And then, I mean, this is, if you like deep dive into Hello Ruby's Instagram from 2016, you'll see all of it. But yeah, I love it.
No, I do. I think it's really cool.
It's just a cute, easy script.
Yeah. And it's not like too much. It's just, simple and elegant.
Yeah. Totally.
Yes.
Exactly who I am as a person.
Yeah, you are just so simple and so elegant.
I'm actually the exact opposite of simple and elegant, but that's okay. Okay, so what other things within the last 7 years with Hello Ruby like catch your eye? Like, do you remember? Because I feel like I talk about the story of Hello Ruby so much in the beginning, and then it's like I blinked. Is that the past tense word of blink? I blank. I
blanked it.
I blank.
I think the things,
and then it's like now, like I just don't even remember.
It's funny because the things that like come to mind, I think, are all like just like crazy things that like happened to us. Like that one time when you were in Lincoln and you went to like Kappa and the truck like got stuck and got like high centered.
I got high centered, yeah.
And so you had to call like the fire squad or something like that.
I probably dialed 911 and said, "Help me! Yeah. I don't know what to do."
Yeah, and I mean, so those are just hilarious stories. But I mean, whenever you went to Lincoln, you always killed it.
Yeah. Well, my demographics, the college girl.
I know.
All those girls. Mom's days were really good because then the moms would be paying for the gals. I loved all their support in Lincoln.
Yeah,
they were great.
That was really
so
fun.
much so that I was like, do I open a mobile mini in Lincoln?
Seriously. I mean,
there's been so many things that I've like almost done or kind of done and then not. Because I feel like there's so much opportunity everywhere. And when you first start, you're so excited and you're like, what route do I want to go? This way. Oh, a local collective. I want to go this way. But
well, I think I will definitely commend you on the fact that, you do get stuff done. And I think what's remarkable too is just like this right here. Like the fact that there are so many people that are like, I'm sure like thinking about or wanting to do a podcast and then you just like go out and do it.
Well, I've been wanting to do it for years, so it's not like
it's still amazing.
I really love this though. The podcast for me is like, I love it. It's like next thing. Love it.
It's so impressive. And it's like so many people like think about doing these things.
Don't cry.
4 years. I'm trying not to. But it really is. It just speaks to your character. You get things done. You go after it. You know what you want, and then you take it. And it's really admirable, and I think it's really cool.
Thank you. I also couldn't do it without your support because that is one thing I wanted to mention. The first, like, I doing pop-ups obviously all the time. I hear like, ugh, my husband bitches about this, or like my husband bitches about that. He has to watch the kids. Like, I don't think I can remember one time where you're like, you have a pop-up, really? Like, and I have anxiety at a baseline already of like, oh, I don't know why I feel bad. Like I'm taking the weekend.
Stress. Yeah.
Well, I know, but a supportive significant other, I feel like for a person doing pop-up life is like the only way to do it. Like it's not possible and wouldn't be possible without that. Obviously before we had kids, it was, I don't remember anything, but now that we have kids, it's like, thank God you're like a willing person and a good dad to just do that.
Number one, I like my kids, so I like to hang out with them, which is a cool thing. But the other thing too is like, when you get to see someone that's so passionate and like doing, like running their own business, like it's cool to like be a part of that and be able be able to support that.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it's like inspiring and it's just exciting to like know that I could help out to have you pursue your dreams.
Well, yeah. Thank you. What do you think would be your piece of advice to significant others, like who are running around town on the weekends, owning their own business, like
for the significant other?
Yeah.
I would just say be very patient.
Yeah.
And I would say try to never, ever, ever make that person feel bad about what they're doing, because like the bottom line is I mean, I talked to you about this, like too, about like working out, like working out is like something that is really, really hard to do. And if you have anybody that like is kind of pushing you in the wrong direction, then it makes it that much harder.
Yeah.
And so like, I feel like you should never, I never want to have you have that undercurrent of feeling that like I'm holding you back, or I feel like, you know, frustrated by this. Like that would break my heart if I made you feel that way, you know?
So the advice would be,
the advice would be, be patient and
don't bitch about it.
And don't whine about it. Yeah.
So you're telling me when I use my coupons that you gave me for Mother's Day not to work out, you don't like that. And I need to not use the gift that you gave me.
Well, I haven't worked out for like 3 weeks, so now I'm off so I don't care. You can use the coupons whenever you want to.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this in great depth, but I want a soft launch today. Me talking about having season 7 be the final year of the fashion truck. Waiting for shocks in the audience. There is no audience here.
Gasp.
Here's why. Obviously, I have been thinking about it for a long time. To like say it out loud is crazy. That's why I said soft launch. I don't want to hard launch it yet. But my schedule now allows for part-time work, which I'm obviously so grateful for. I feel like in a dream when I was little, thinking about growing up and being a mom, it's like work part-time and be a mom part-time, well, full-time, but you know what that means. So yeah, when I work now, I'm like so excited about a local collective, and that's like pressing. And then Midtown Crossing for me has been an amazing partner with helping them with events. And then I've just noticed myself caring a little bit, not as much with these other two, with Hello Ruby. I love Market. I love it all. But like just doing events in general, I feel like I'm like hiring staff to do that because it's the weekends and I do want to spend time with my family. And I think it does make the most sense if I am so overwhelmed to offload one thing. I feel like 7 years with Hello Ruby is amazing. And I think when we started, it was like we were not single, but like, yeah, we were together, single, no kids. And like, that's what it was. And that's how you do it. You do 4 events a week and you kill it and you keep going. It's a grind. And like each kid I have, but like when we had Paxton, then it was like, okay, hiring help. And then now I have 2 kids. So it's hiring more help. And at the end of the day, it's like the stuff that I'm doing for Hello Ruby is not even the fun stuff. It's like the stuff that I don't want to be doing. And then the girls are doing the fun stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to like put a wrap on Hello Ruby. I'm thinking and really focus on a local collective and the podcast and Midtown Crossing events because I love events and I'm still in the mix with pop-ups. But yeah, that's my thought. I mean, and we've talked about it, but
yeah, I would say, I mean, to put things frank, I feel like Hello Ruby is like the truck in and of itself is a freaking awesome business.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool. And I think like for any like upcoming entrepreneur that likes fashion, like it is like such a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Mainly because, you know, you don't need a brick and mortar. You have a lot of potential connections, you know, through you. Like you are unique, very unique. There aren't a lot of obviously there aren't a lot of mobile fashion boutiques that are out there. And I feel like you've evolved in your way of thinking through this process to the extent where, you've kind of like, you've gained a particular set of skills over time.
Name that movie. What is it?
Taken, I think, with Liam Neeson.
Oh my God.
I've developed a particular set of skills. But you have, and like, I feel like you now can imbue those skills on other people.
Excuse me, what's that word? Imbue?
Imbue.
Okay, spell it. Use it in a sentence. EMBEW.
Sometimes I just make up words. Sound smart. So,
literally.
I don't know. I can look it up if you want me to. But I would say like you
embody.
No, you disseminate them. Is that?
I don't know that word.
Okay, you show people how to do it. Like you are a good teacher as far as.
Oh, I'm a terrible teacher.
No. I mean, this is what I mean. That's why imbue is such a good word. I'm using synonyms now, and it's kind of taking away the value of the word. What I'm saying is like after you've learned so much stuff from being a small business owner, you want to almost like pay it forward through a local collective in a way.
Yes.
To teach people how to do it. Is that?
Yes, that's great.
You're imbuing all of your great stuff
add that
and disseminating it everywhere.
I'm going to just like change my profile bio and say that because that's exactly how I feel. And I've never thought about it like that. This is therapy.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
But I would say like, I think that's your vibe and your jam now. And that's what you're passionate about. And I think that you do a really good job of it. And so I think, Hello Ruby was a amazing stepping stone. You learned a ton. And I think, now you're probably, what you've done is you've taken all the pieces of that business, figured out what you really like, and then you're about to blossom with local collective and making that a lot larger. Yeah. And then, Hello Ruby is still a kick-ass business. And so it would be,
I don't know.
It would be so fun to find a protege that could take it over. And
yeah, but I'm also a control freak. So I don't know. I mean, yes, maybe.
It'll be hard to navigate.
Maybe in a different state. I don't want to see it.
Yeah. Maybe you find someone that you really, really like, and maybe they do an amazing job. Maybe it's just like a mini Jill.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's hard to replace you though. You can't replace it.
Well, I would love to get into reality.
Are we
TV.
pivoting? All right.
We are pivoting. And I'm very jacked to pivot because I have a lot to say. So last night we got caught up on Summer House.
Went to bed at like 12:30, by the way.
Yeah. And our kids, both of them woke up, which is so fucking annoying. Midnight and 3 or what? What happened last night? Mom, where's my water?
I'm missing my Brave Bear. So Jill goes upstairs, lays with them for an hour, and then, fast forward to 3 a.m. Noelle
wakes up.
Go upstairs, try to rock her. She's like freaking out. Need to get her a bottle. So
yeah, and like she's 14 months? and like at Noelle's 12th month, the doctor's like, okay, start weaning the bottle. And I feel like I've been pretty strict on weaning the bottle and you are not as much. And now I'm like on your wavelength because it is just easier to get a bottle.
Survival mode.
I know.
We're just trying to survive here.
Anyway, so that was our night. Stayed up late, got woken, and then came here, which was fun.
But prior to falling asleep, we got to watch all the
Summer
shows.
House.
And it was awesome.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. I love West.
Yes.
Okay, so I would say that's Bravo's best addition to a new cast member on literally any show. Would you agree or disagree? It's a bold claim.
I would say...
For Summer House, for sure.
I would love to continue to see his character evolve over time.
Wait, you don't love him?
I do love him. I just... when you say he's the most amazing character to ever grace Bravo's...
It's a broad.
But I would say that like he is hilarious. And I think me and you relate to him more because he's got like those Midwest vibes.
Yeah, so he's from Columbia, Missouri, which, full circle, that's where Ruby's surgery was when she broke her back. IVDD.
We paid $5 million for.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. But yeah, West is awesome.
He's awesome. I love him.
And I love his vibe with Sierra. It's adorable.
So cute. Yeah. Let's talk about how annoying Danielle is.
She's very annoying.
I can't stand her. I can't stand her.
I don't know what it is
she adds literally nothing to the show. Yeah. Her being like, I'm on my bad bitch era. I'm like, you're so fucking annoying. Like, I don't like, are you like 18 or like, how old are you? You're 30? Like, you're such a fucking, she's a loser. This is so mean.
You're very
This
passionate.
is so mean.
I would say that the word...
I can't find one thing in the past 7 years that they've been doing the show that she adds value.
She doesn't. I think the word that I would describe her would be cringe.
Cringe, yes.
She's so cringe in everything that she does. And like, yeah, no, you're not that cool. Sorry. Like, you're not a bad girl. Like, you're not like, you know.
And like her relationship last year was like kind of funny, but
she's also like really clingy too to like the guys.
Lindsay.
Like,
and Lindsay for 6 years.
Yeah, and it's just like that type of like vibe when people are so clingy onto someone else. It's just kind of like
red flag.
Take it easy, pump the brakes.
What was I going to say? Carl and Lindsay too. Okay, so Carl and Lindsay, obviously, the beginning of the season, they're like show the breakup, and it's hilarious because Carl's like, "Oh, she's going to say this came out of nowhere, or she was blindsided," and then she's on the phone. She's like, "I just feel blindsided." They're so good at that. Bravo.
I feel really bad for Carl.
I do too.
I think Lindsay's been burned in a lot of relationships in her entire life,
and she has a fucked up childhood, which is sad.
Right, and so I think you know, she's clearly a very insecure individual within relationships, and she's one of those people that I think is like constantly testing their significant other to see how far they'll go in order to show how dedicated they are to feel loved. And unfortunately, that ends up with toxicity.
Yeah.
And the problem too is that if you find someone that's just going to like bend over for you to do that, you may like that in the short term, but in the long term, you're probably not going to like that in your mate.
And then her insinuating not one, but 2 Friday nights in a row. What are you on when he is a sober, working hard at his sobriety is so insane.
It's
Number one, it's insane to do to an enemy. It's 20 billion times more insane to do it to your significant other that you're looking to marry.
Right. You're supposed to be supporting this individual.
Oh my gosh. And then like I saw on TikTok, somebody was like, good job not speaking out, Carl, and just letting the footage play for itself, because you feel so bad. He's like, yeah, obviously you don't know what happens behind closed doors, but like couldn't be more level-headed on how he talks to her and speaks to her about it. And she is like, again, how old are you? Like, what is going on?
It'll be fascinating for her to like, I mean, obviously like being on a reality TV show, you do see like, you know, ups and downs and like yourself in a different light. It will be really interesting this season because most of the time it's like two drunk people fighting against each other.
Right.
This time, Carl is like stone cold sober. Lindsay's, you know, blacking out on drinking 15 drinks and stuff.
Which who cares? I do that too.
It's fine. It's just when you drink like that and you get that toxic,
it's your attitude.
And then your insecurities come out and then you just fight with your significant other. It's not a good look.
And it's like, yeah, in college, maybe we'd do that, but like we're 30, grow up.
Grow up.
Lindsay, if I have one tip of advice from a nobody, it would be grow up.
For what it's worth, which is nothing.
Yes, up. Exactly. West is hosting
Yes.
I know. West is hosting a watch party, at some bar in Kansas City, April 11th. I'm not sure if it's like just a regular episode. It wouldn't be the finale yet or the reunion yet, would it?
How many weeks?
I don't know. But
because we're on episode
I want to go. Austin's parents have a condo in Kansas City, and we might like go up with the kids to hang out and then go see West. Okay. Well, we need to find a reliable sitter in Kansas City.
We'll figure it out. But I'm not going to miss that.
I know. I really want to see him.
I mean, he's going to be in the Midwest. We're all going to be like, you know, drinking Boulevard wheat and hanging out.
Yeah, he probably will be.
Yeah,
he's been wearing some Kansas City stuff. Both of Austin's brothers live in Kansas City with their wives and kids.
How old is West?
I don't know.
I bet he's like 28.
I'm really surprised I didn't find that in my deep diving because I was down to like 2018 on his Instagram.
Well, Jesse's age came out and I was surprised.
How old is he?
Jesse just turned 30.
Oh.
I'm like, that dude looks like he's like
cancer
36.
Twice.
I know, crazy.
And first vibes for Jesse Solomon. Thought he was douchey. And then I think it's just his like, but I like him. He's not bad.
Oh yeah, he's not bad. I think
he's not as douchey as I thought from the initial episode.
Like he's coming hard on Paige. Like clearly Paige has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Craig is the man and he's hilarious with his tiny hands.
His hands that everyone makes fun of.
Yeah.
Sad.
But other than that, yeah, I mean like when you hear about someone having a cancer diagnosis, like you can't help but be like,
a little bit more compassionate.
I'm a little sympathetic for this individual going through something like that.
I know. And Paige can do no wrong in my eyes. I love her. Like, I think she's so funny. Her wit, like, she's
dry.
Perfect. She's so fucking funny.
Yeah, she's so funny. And like when her and Craig like talk about, like last episode, Craig was like looking to buy a horse, and she's like, "This is the dumbest decision you'll ever make in your life. It's dumber than when you wanted to buy the soccer team. It's dumber than when you wanted." And it's just like when they talk.
Funny.
And you know what else is kind of interesting too, or admirable? I don't know if it's admirable or not, but I feel like they, like the way that they're candid about how they might not work out is something that I think is kind of interesting. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Craig?
Yeah, Craig and Paige.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you know, we love each other. We love hanging out. Everything is great. We really, really hope it works.
Right.
We understand that we may be living different lives, and this is, you know, and so it's just kind of interesting how that.
I also think that's super new for Craig, because he was talking to Kyle Cook about that. And he's like, in doing work in myself through therapy, I've realized like it's like he has more self-worth on his own, which leads him to be more confident. And like, he's obsessed with Paige though, and in love with Paige.
They're so cute with each other. I think. Yeah. I mean, they're so cute.
I love how she like acts that like he is her kid.
Yeah.
Or
like a grown man.
Yeah.
He had to Google rigatoni.
In Italy. Was it rigatoni?
Yeah, I think rigatoni.
And I love Sierra too. Sierra's like, that's not even a niche noodle.
Yeah. Sierra's great too.
I love Sierra.
She's fun on the show.
I like her vibe. Like just not being slutty and like normal and private.
Yep.
Is a breath of fresh air.
Yep.
Fun. Shall we transfer to Vanderpump?
Do we have anything else to talk about with
Summer House? Summer House is good. What about Kyle and Amanda? Like, I like them. They've been through a lot, and I think...
Dude, how old is Kyle?
Yeah, he's old. Fuck. Yeah.
Is he like 45?
Yeah. Is he? He doesn't look 45, but he...
We were talking about this last night, though, but like...
What?
Kyle's drunk voice.
Oh,
so annoying.
What was he mocking Paige about? That was so funny.
Yeah,
I like that one. And he's like, I like that one.
Like they were talking about what they were going to name their dance party like
playlist.
Studio, and someone was like, the Settled or something like that.
I don't know. We're terrible. I don't remember.
And Paige goes, I like that, and Kyle goes,
I like that. So funny.
He's so funny. But yeah, Kyle and
Amanda is so tiny with huge tatties. It's like,
she doesn't exercise, and she doesn't like do
because
anything.
In our toaster group, if you guys are toast fans, there's girls in the comments being like, I was in a sorority with Amanda. She literally was like that in college. Can eat whatever, tiny. So cute.
Jealous.
So jealous. Bitch.
I hope they work out, by the way.
Yeah, I like them.
And I hope they figure it out.
I don't know why I feel like they're fine. Like, I just feel like now their troubles are just like normal marriage troubles, maybe. Right. I don't know.
It's not like Kyle
maybe
getting too drunk and like making out.
Right.
With someone. Yeah.
So we recently were in Vegas with my cousin and my cousin's husband. We had so much fun. Austin was there for a lipids conference. Yes, I said lipids. If you don't know what that means, neither do I.
Cholesterol.
Something with
fats in the blood.
Fats in the blood.
Very interesting stuff.
But as he was learning about being healthy, I was drinking and smoking. And we had conversations with my cousin and her husband about Vanderpump, and I cannot believe how wildly different our opinions were. Like, I've never...
Are they watching the same show?
That's how I feel. I could not believe it. Like, they liked Katie Maloney, and I'm like, for what? She literally...
They did not say that.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Well, this is... Okay, so we went to Vanderpump...
the worst character on the
lounge.
show.
Or what was the lounge we went to?
It was...
We went to both Vanderpumps.
I think it was just called Vanderpump.
Oh my God, and we met Oliver.
Yeah,
I forgot. I just remembered that.
Maybe that's why you like Oliver Twist. Yeah, he was nice. Really nice. Yeah, down to earth.
We met
took a picture with
son,
us.
Oliver.
Yeah, he was cool.
I literally don't remember that, so.
Yeah. But anyways,
what? I don't even remember. I spin myself
We were
on
talking about Vanderpump and how they like Katie Maloney.
Okay, yeah. So they like Katie.
Which is bizarre.
I think Katie is like, holds hate right here, and it's just like, exudes out of her. Kind of like Ariana right now, too.
She's a toxic person.
Toxic.
She's not happy with herself. No. She can't be happy with other people.
Yeah.
She's just... And then the bombshell that was dropped in the last episode where she slept with Tom's best friend is exceedingly hypocritical, Max.
Insane.
And so that's just that's like a icing, like it's kind of like a cherry on top. But bottom
like
line is she's brutal at baseline.
Her never being like able to even like have a conversation with Tom Sandoval, which obviously, yes, we all know he fucked up. But like, and then you go have sex with what?
Insane.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the exact same thing, but.
And she's just,
whatever.
She's again, another like super insecure person. And like, she's like, Tom never loved me the way that I want her to be loved.
It's like, yeah, because you were annoying.
Yeah, that's because you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay.
Okay. Also, they had an opinion that, is it Allie, James's
Allie.
girlfriend, that she was like thirsty and in it for like clout. And I'm like, what?
She's like super humble and like,
I love her.
And like doesn't speak up or anything. And she just like reads horoscopes all day.
Yeah.
Like she's chill. I don't get it.
Okay. One thing I did not agree with though was she was telling the other girls about Joe's horoscope and how her session went. And I was like, okay, if you're like,
is that a HIPAA violation?
Yeah, that's what I jokingly thought. But like, I don't, that's so rude. And like, if you're trying to have a professional business, like you don't just like spout people's, it's like a therapist, like spouting like, oh, they're like, what?
Well, and then they threw out that comment to like, yeah, I like Tom, like I like my dad or something like that. And she's like, oh, you want to, do you remember saying that?
That was what I'm talking about. That's what Allie.
And like, and it's like, yeah, I mean, like clearly Joe is kind of like insecure about her and Tom's relationship. She likes him. He maybe like is not reciprocating as much or did before.
I think he likes her, but he doesn't want to be in a relationship because he needs to be single, which I agree with.
But they're not hooking up right now though, right?
Well, I think they did. Like she said a month ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyways, I thought that those girls were mean girl vibes.
No, and Sheena too.
Sheena, the one that gets bullied the most out of everybody.
I know.
And then
Sheena
she just comes in.
Girl.
It's like, come on. Like
about her wearing her hat when she had braids on.
Like what's going on? Like, why can't you have some more sympathy?
And before this episode, everyone was hating on Sheena for like making it about her with the Sandoval thing. And I understand her side. Like
100%.
That would be like if one of our friends did that and I had a relationship with them, I would feel bad too.
And Sheena and all of their friends are put in a really hard spot too, because they were all really good friends with Sandoval. I always make Sandoval and Schwartz up, by the way. But Sandoval, like...
You mean like saying it or in real life?
It's like white and yellow.
Oh.
Or limes and lemons.
Yeah. He gets limes and lemons confused. I get white and yellow confused.
But I think, I think that that dynamic there is just, I don't know, it's off.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Vanderpump quick before we wrap up? Like what else happened?
We need to watch The Valley.
Yeah. Jack's annihilating Tom. It's like, who are you, Jax?
Making fun of his like white nail polish. It's like, dude.
Yeah, that's so mean. Like I don't like it either, but
if I lived in LA and you were cool with it, I would wear white nail polish.
Why don't you do it here?
I don't know. Because we're in the Midwest.
Midwest sucks.
It does kind of suck. But yeah, no, Jack's coming in hot and like being like, I live the best life ever and I have everything that I want now.
And now he's like separated.
Okay. No, you don't.
We did not start The Valley though, which we need to.
I can guarantee you're going to be a deadbeat dad. You're not super happy. Like, just get over yourself.
Do you think their Jackson Brittany's like separation was for their show, or do you think I'm sure he cheated on her like he does a million times.
Wasn't that the rumor that he was running around town just banging everyone? Yeah. I mean, that shelf life, I've milked that as longer shelf life than that marriage.
Okay, can we end it on Brittany saying, rotten hell?
You rotten hell, Jax.
Literally, somebody commented that on someone's Instagram, and it was like rot spelled like RAEWT.
By the way, you do a pretty good impression of that. Say it again.
Rotten hell. I don't know.
Rotten hell.
Anyway, so thank you so much for coming on. Maybe we can do it again.
Yeah, that was so fun.
It was fun to go down memory lane. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Love you. Bye.